Good day, podcast community. This could be the most important video you will ever listen to as it relates to your future. It certainly is going to be from me to you, but whether you receive it, that'll be the big question. I'm going to answer 14 questions over this video. So if you're interested in scaling and growing your business by 10x, taking advantage of the entrepreneurial future. We are in a revolution with entrepreneurship. And I'm going to give you some reasons. And I want you to do your homework. Listen, do what I did. I was blessed by having a stroke. Now you say that's crazy, but it wasn't, because it took me off the busy bus and put me on a purpose plane. What do I mean by that? Is I got a chance to think about the future. And when you start thinking, you start processing things differently. And when you start thinking and you're not reacting, you're not busy, you're not missing opportunities, you see things differently. And I did. So I'm thankful that I had a stroke. Now, did I miss golf? Yes. I played 5 days a week before my stroke. Don't play now, but I will probably sometime in the future. But it doesn't matter, because now I've created with my partner in Canada, Jeff Bourgeois, a one-of-a-kind business. And here I'm going to answer 14 questions. Hopefully this is enough for you to see the opportunity, because I want to challenge you to get off the busy bus and onto the purpose plane. And there's a video out there that I did on it, but there's a lot to be said with reacting to emails, reacting to things, and not planning, not thinking, not journaling, not putting some thought into your future. So the first question is, why is today the right day to invest in you and your future? If you're getting this first, it's because your chapter is in the first magazine, Kennesaw Happenings. I didn't even know what 30 chapters were going to be in there. That was done by Trexa. We selected almost like at random, but that is your lucky moment, because you will see things before everybody else sees them. And here's why I want you to think. The best investment is in you. Always you. No matter what. It's not a TV, a big screen TV. It's you. Invest in you. Personal development. That will by far give you a 10x plus return if you invest in you. Now, what am I asking you to invest? $300. $250 in the first month, and you'll be group coached on how to use the magazine to leverage your story and the community, because we built an ecosystem. I'll give you an idea of what an ecosystem means or what it is. Look at Apple. If you buy an iPad, you're buying an ecosystem. That's why they can get $1,200 for a phone when the others are going for much less, because you buy an ecosystem, and that's what you're investing in here, is an ecosystem. And I'm going to let you see what the ecosystem is. Don't take my word for it. Go to pk.me/masterclass. You'll see our 10 steps. Actually, it's 11, but 10 is a good number. You can see what has been put together. Every single step is scalable. Every single one. But together, it's like getting in a Lamborghini when everybody else is riding a tricycle. You're going to get there faster. And now that we're moving in to the AI future, you're going to see the biggest transformation you've ever seen in your lifetime, depending on your age. But it's going to make .com and the Industrial Revolution look like kindergarten, because innovation and technology is always going to drive things. You can see what happened in the recent elections, and we'll get to that in just a little bit. One camp invested in long form podcasting. One camp went around traditional media. They communicated to the American people what was going on. One won, one lost. One hung on to the past, traditional controlled media. One embraced podcasting, long form. Look at Trump. He went on Joe Rogan, 3 hours. His vice president elect Vance went on there. Elon Musk went on there. You saw people not afraid to discuss things. What did Harris do? She restricted it to an hour and they couldn't come to terms because her trying to control the narrative. You can't do that with long form. You just absolutely can't do it because people see right through it. And they saw through it. That's why Trump won with convincing numbers. But you're going to still see the fight for control. But you will be able to embrace the entrepreneurial revolution through the AI transformation. That's step 9 on our 10 steps. That's done by my partner, Jeff Bourgeois. Look him up on LinkedIn, Borschowa. Look him up. He's developed an AI agency. This guy's talented beyond belief. He's focused beyond belief. And he took 6 months of intense focus to develop this. So he's created the Catalyst Crew. It's 22 team members to address specific things within your business to help you grow. Because some people, when I walk the community, I go out there and I talk to businesses. I have conversations with them. And there's a fair amount who are scared of it. And that's fear. Fear is never good. Nothing accomplishes anything with fear. Understand it. Dive deeper into it. It's worth your time to do it. Because if you can recognize what's coming, oh my, there'll be a shift. There's already going to be a shift in the government, the way that the bloated government is expanded over time. It's going to be more to serve the people, serve you. And as an entrepreneur, your business can leverage it. Because I say this, I don't know. I guess I do. 80% is AI. So I have a team in the Philippines, Trexa and her team. They do 80%. I do 20%. So I instruct them with 10%. She does 80%. And then I come in to coach up the final 10%. That's similar to what you're going to want to do with AI. Don't be 100% AI. They'll spot that so quickly. It's easy. You let AI do 80% of your work, like create a course, like develop your avatar, put your strategy together, put action steps. Take it where you're giving it the commands, and then when you get it, fine-tune it. Put your human intelligence on it. So that's number 2. Leverage AI and learn about it. Be enough. Get off that busy bus and get into the purpose plane where it's quiet, flies above all the noise. That's what I've been doing for the last 3 years, flying above the noise. No TV, no social, no nothing. I work 15 hours a day, 6.5 days a week for 3 years. Now, with one focus, build, build, build. So I wasn't distracted. Thank God for my stroke, because it took me off the busy bus, which was digital marketing, and put me on the purpose plane, which was flying above the noise. Now, let me see. The next one is, why does an ecosystem make the difference between scaling and growing your business? Touched on it briefly. Ecosystem is a system like Apple. That's probably the best, most common one we can relate to. Why do you pay so much for an Apple phone? Because way back when Steve Jobs simplified his product offering, what did he give you? iTunes. iTunes connected the iPod, which was the product, gave you the iTunes, which was the connection to the digital music platform. And that's gone on from almost being bankrupt when he came back and took it over to now probably the most valuable company in the world. How did that happen? Focus and an ecosystem. So you look at a minimal amount of products in an ecosystem. People will pay more when they get that value. So our ecosystem, and I'll give it to you, so you can, each one of them, go to PeteKane.me/masterclass. And that's our ecosystem. So you can learn on your own. Absolutely. I want to give you everything you can to succeed. You can take one of the steps, do very well, or you can be coached in strategy through the 10 steps. That's what my offer is to you. Every strategy is a little different. It's discussion. It's finding out what you're doing, being able to be in a group. And I want to share, like some of you don't even know you're in the magazine. So you can go to PeteKane.me/magazine. You can see it. You see a copy of it. You can go on to Amazon, search Kennesaw Happenings and see it. And you can buy it for, I think, $12.75. It's 160 pages, I think, something like that. But your story is in it. Your story. And why is that important? Because stories are remembered. If we go back to the Bible with parables, you remember parables. You remember stories. You don't remember all the details of something, but you'll remember your story. And your story is in the magazine. Collectively, we're going to be able to work as a community to help you grow, to be part of a community, because being a part of a community is part of an ecosystem. That's an asset. So the magazine's an asset. Podcasting is an access. A book is an asset. Excuse me. And a workbook is an asset. All these are assets, and you want to create them. Google my name. Just go Pete Kane or Podcast Pete. You either put a middle name in it, because there's other Pete Kanes out there, but put the word podcast in. See what you come up with. You'll see the 300 podcasts that I've done with you. You're on Google. You have to dominate Google. A website and a LinkedIn profile is not enough today. People have to see you. They have to consume 7 hours of you. That's Daniel Priestley. And that's an assessment. So when you go to PeteKane.me, you can take our assessment. You can see that people have to consume 7 hours of you. So if you have nothing out there, how are they supposed to get to know you, like you, and trust you? Because if they trust you to solve their problem and they've gotten to know you through the digital world, they're going to do business with you. And then there's a little thing called I think it's called the Moment of Truth by Google. 11 buying signals. Whoop, whoop, there we go. 11 buying signals. You can search it online and see. A buying signal can be assessment. Buying signal can be requesting information. Buying signal can be various things. But when somebody does 7 hours of consumption of you and they make 11 buying signals, it's kind of like when you search for things, let's say a total of 11 times. They know the brain just switches and go, man, I like that product. It solves my problem. I like the person that's delivering it. That's the 7 hours of consumption. And I want to make it clear, Daniel Priestley is the person behind that. Search him, look at him, score at. I finished reading all 3 of his books, now the 4th book. So I've gotten to know the guy. That's why I use him, because he's an authority in scaling and growing a business. Now, the next one is, why did I do 300 podcasts? Well, it's because my partner said, you like golf, do podcasts. And I did. I did like golf. I enjoyed golf. I was consumed by it. I played 5 days a week, but I wasn't playing it. I wasn't feeling it. So when I started out doing podcasts, we did foursomes. I didn't know what the heck I was doing. I was forgetting out people in the foursome and to ask them to ask questions. It was, I won't say it's a mess, it was a learning experience. But each podcast, I learned something about somebody. I learned more about my belief system and the more I engage with people, because I'm not traditionally a writer, being dyslexic and ADHD. It's not, I wouldn't say I was an avid reader, but I am now, thanks to Jim Quick and speed reading and understanding how the brain works. So I always listen to it on audio. I take AI, do a summary, and then I read. So I take 3 different learning styles, put them together, and it's not how much you read, it's what you retain. So if you're retaining more, that's better than just saying I read 1 book a week, which if you can and you have the time and you can retain it, that's great. I don't do 1 book a week anymore. I go over and over and over and over again with books. Go deep. Same with my iPhone. Go over and over with more that I can get out of that iPhone, because there's a lot that we just don't have time, or we haven't taken the time to learn. So podcasting is the future. There's no doubt about that. Long form podcasting is the future because it gets you to think. Short form podcasting just leads to long form podcasting. You look at Trump, 3 hours on a podcast, 3 hours. If you weren't passionate about what you were doing, you wouldn't last 3 hours. That's why Kamala Harris didn't get on there. She had an opportunity to reach 50 million people, but didn't have the confidence that she could maintain the questions without being scripted. But let me say, so why does podcasting is an effective way of communicating a message? I think today there's thousands of podcasts. So depending on your interest, you can get to know people. You can get to know your interests. You're not, think about way back, this is me talking, there was only 3 networks way back when, ABC, NBC, and CBS. So whatever they decided to play, you had it. Then all of a sudden Fox came on, then CNN, more and more alternatives. Then podcasting hit the scene. And there's thousands of podcasts. We believe you have to podcast with purpose, but that's a separate subject for a different day. But you have to have purpose in everything you do. So when you're talking about podcasting and the purpose of your podcasting may be to deliver whatever you're an expert on, you're educating people on your particular expertise. And it's a digital asset. Let me repeat that. A digital asset. What does that mean? It's an asset's like a house. A lot of people love real estate. They love assets. They like to buy them because they can produce income. A podcast is like that, because when you put a podcast out there and go again, search my name, Pete Kane, and just put the word podcast in and see what comes up. A lot of podcasts, a lot of things. My master class, because it's a blog post. You can see that this digital footprint is getting bigger, and I haven't even started. So because I did start a couple years ago, I have 300 or more digital assets out there. Search me on Spotify. And if you're in that magazine, you're on Spotify too. So you have a podcast on Spotify. And we can see what Spotify is doing in the marketplace. They had a big fight. I mean, they took down Spotify. That's how many people watched it. Because that was Netflix. All right. That's totally different. Forget that. Forget that story. But Netflix is the new thing. What did it do? Put Blockbuster, because they didn't recognize the trend. They didn't recognize that people were going to go to a streaming format versus going and picking up a CD. Okay. Why did Donald Trump get elected president in the recent election? Okay, I touched on it a little bit, but I want to get more into it. He did a lot of town halls. He connected with the people. He did a lot of podcasts. He connected with the people. He was unfiltered. You may like him or you may not, but you can't argue with his success. Ever since he started running for president, he became everything that the devil would describe. And he's not. He's actually just a guy, okay? A guy that knows how to get results. Look at the cabinet he's put together. It's an impressive, whether you agree with it or not, it's impressive. And he's going to downsize government, bringing it back to the people. And that's what we want. We want to control our tax, not control. We want good value for our tax dollar. So he got elected because he went right to the people. Look, they took him off of Twitter way back when. How do you take a president off a platform of communication? Well, if you own it, you can do whatever you want. That's why Elon Musk bought it. Now it's a citizen platform. It's a platform for you to have your free speech, to talk, to converse, to dialogue, to be able to have conversation. Got to have conversation with people, even if you don't agree with them. Talk to them. Understand them. We don't all have to think alike. We just have to have dialogue. You got to build relationships. You got to have conversation. So let me see. The next one is, how important are stories in a crowded, distracted environment? We touched on it a little bit, but understand, once I have 300, let's say, stories that I've learned from the guests that have been on there. I remember them all. I don't remember the details of their business, but I remember their stories. People remember stories. You might remember this. Why did I, on the cover of Kennesaw Happenings, put my day at Piedmont Park and put that on the cover? When I had a stroke, I'm basically left side gone. Had to learn to talk, had to learn to eat, had to learn everything over again. That was the first day that I went outside, like to a place. It was a memorable day, and I went with two of my other friends that I had there. But that's a story that's personal to me. It meant a lot. I will never forget it. Never forget it. And that's the same with the stories that I did with the 300 podcast. I'll never forget your story, because 99.9% of the time, emotionally, I can connect with it because it's a story. It's your story. It's your personal story. I had a chance to interview my mom. She's 94. What I discovered was she could remember things that were personal to her. She was a semi-pro basketball player at high school. Never knew it till a week ago, when I was talking about that with her and recording it, because I wanted to find out things because when grandkids are born, we have three on the way for her. So she'll go to 23, I think it is. And 2 are getting married. And so they'll have grandkids eventually, if they want, if they desire to, if it's in their plan. They may not know their grandmother, great-grandmother, but they can listen to her talking. So we want conversations with her over the next however amount of time. We want conversations with her. We want to talk with her. So I was saying, like, stories are remembered, and they're remembered through podcasting. Your story is in the magazine. Check it out. You can buy one. You can go to Amazon, just put Kennesaw Happenings in there, and you can buy one, get it in a couple days. Okay. Now, the next one is, how can I learn more if I'm still on the fence with growth and scaling strategy? That's a good question. Google, check me out, see the magazine, do your due diligence, because I'm looking for 20 success stories. So over the 12 weeks that you'll be with me for 1 hour a week, I'm going to navigate I'm going to help you with the strategy, and you'll be with 19 other people. And in there is a collective, collaborative community that care for each other. Now, will you care for somebody you don't know before the? Yeah, of course you won't. No, no, you won't. But you get to know people. You get to know people by spending an hour with them once a week. Then you're all helping each other. That's one of the strategies. Is a magazine, is a community, and the community is Kennesaw Happenings. Then it could be Ackworth Happenings, Marietta Happenings, Roswell Happenings, West Cobb Happenings, East Cobb Happenings. Each one will have a magazine. Then you drill down. You have a shopping center. When I walked Chastain a couple weeks ago, I was shocked. Person next to him didn't even know the person, their neighbor. You got to know your neighbors. If you're in a shopping center, you're trying to drive traffic to the shopping center. The more people that can tell your story, and you can tell the stories of the people in the shopping center, the more people will come visit you. Once they know your story, they're more apt to get to know you. Because if you're providing traditional advertising, there's too much noise out there. There's 6,000 marketing messages that our brain gets every day. Are you going to remember all this stuff? No, of course not. But you'll remember stories. You'll remember your neighbor because the magazine will have the story and you'll get to know that person. And then when you get to know the person, you'll help to refer the person because the person comes into your shop and you say, hey, go next door. You can have lunch at Korean barbecue, which is right there. And how do you cut through all that unless somebody is sharing your story right next to you? Go next door, meet the people, go try them out. And that's the advantages of a magazine because we're in the middle of the digital transformation, but we're never going to get rid of print. It's always going to be part of our way we do. Because, looking at something on the phone, yes, it's convenient. Yes. I have print journals, physical journals, and I have journals on my phone. I use both. When it comes to a magazine, you'll have a print magazine with your story in it, and you'll have a digital magazine. You can ship a print magazine anywhere in the country, as long as Amazon is delivering it, and that's pretty much everywhere. I don't know. Maybe there's an area they don't touch, but I don't know about it. But here's the point. Having print and digital is important as we're making this transformation. People like to touch and feel and look at things. Okay, let me see. How can I learn? Let me see. Why does a skyscraper need a solid foundation? Okay, this is for my engineers or anybody really. It takes a long time to build a foundation. You'll see, like when they're putting a skyscraper in, you'll notice that, man, they're taking a long time. Then all of a sudden, the floors go up fast because once you have the foundation built, you can scale your business. Once you have the basics down, the ecosystem, you can scale your business or the skyscraper can go up fast. Because as we move into the AI world, you're going to see some change like you've never seen in your life. And you can either not do anything about it, say it's bad, not be aware of it, and miss it. You'll be like a trike in a marathon going against a Lamborghini. And in the case of a foundation with a skyscraper, you're building a foundation with our ecosystem. Then you put the steps when you're ready, as we strategize with you, you're putting another floor on, another floor, another floor, another floor. Finally, you get to the top and it's built and you have a scalable 10x growth business because you built the foundation and you systematically, through a strategy, built the floors to your skyscraper. Okay, let me see. What's my guarantee that this will work? There's no guarantees in life. I go back to Jeff Bezos. He's built a pretty good sized company. Okay. In his letters to the shareholders, he shared something. He said, on some of our big projects, or even projects in general, we basically knew maybe 70%. You're never going to know all of it because we live in an uncertain world. But he said once we had at least enough information, we would go. Sometimes we fail, sometimes we succeed. So in this, know this, I'll work my butt off for you. And I am giving you somewhat of a guarantee, because that's why I said 300. You get 14 days, 14 days of growth day. So you can experience that. Then it's $50 a month, and then $250 for the first month. And you get 4 coaching sessions, and you get to see the magazine. You get to meet the people. So if you decide the second month it's not for you, hey, you don't have to continue. It's a month to month, because I want to discover 20 success stories, because I want to prove to you and to me that it works, that ecosystem will help scale and grow your business. So I'll work my butt off for you. I've been working 15 hours a day for 6.5 days a week for almost 3 years. So I have no problem working hard. I get up at between 3 and 4 every single morning. And so I know how to work hard. I know how to leverage and be productive. And I'm going to be productive for you. I'm going to help you build your ecosystem, your foundation, so you can scale your business. And the advantages of scaling are this. When you're growing your business, people want to be a part of that. If you look at how Amazon grew, everybody wanted to work for them. Google, everybody wanted to work for them. Apple, everybody wanted to work for them. So Facebook, everybody wanted to work for them. So if you're growing like this, you're going to attract the top talent, because you have to build a team. Can't do it by yourself. There's no self-made millionaires out there. It's a collective of building a team. The more value you bring to the market, the more the market pays for you. So the guarantee is I'm going to work my butt off. And the guarantee for you is you get 4 weeks to test drive it. An unbelievable offer. Will it be that way after the first of the year? Once we go, I don't know. I have no idea. I just want to deliver value for you. I want you as a success story. I want people to be talking about your growth of your company. Okay, let me see. How can I do a little homework and check out online? Yeah, search PeteKane.me. Let me see. Take an assessment. See what it's like. Go to PeteKane.me. Take an assessment. Just take it and see. And that way you'll be able to, there we go. Here's a little bit better. Take the assessment at PeteKane.me. So that will help you. Then go check out the magazine. Go to Amazon, you can check it, or you can see how we are going to be rolling out other cities, other magazines, other communities out there. So you can go to that. So that's probably it. And then, what is a lifestyle business? I want you to understand this key term, because it's going to start to be something that, well, Daniel Priestley has been talking about it for a while. But lifestyle business is this. I started taking off on Friday to spend with my granddaughters. And this past Friday was the first one. Now, I had a live event Saturday. I should have been on the phone calling, but I didn't. I spent time with her and had a wonderful time. She built a project. We went to a mini golf, outrageous mini golf in Hiram. Went to Chick-fil-A, had lunch, went to Costco, picked up a couple items. We spent time building her project. She built the product. I just kind of got some supplies and just watched how she formulated her project, which was absolutely amazing. And that was part of I'll be taking off every Friday. A lifestyle business is you enjoy your work while you're working, whether it's traveling. Jerry Boaz, friend of mine, he does Medicare. He coined the phrase chasing history. Now, what does that mean? It's like you go to a place and you can feel history. Like, I remember when he was talking about going to Paris, other people were going to the Eiffel Tower, which everybody goes, but he went to another place which had history. And when you can connect with history, it's powerful. And he does, that's part of his lifestyle. He works very hard because he's a Medicare advisor, helping you navigate the Medicare system, which again, it's a mess. Not that it's provided a mess, but getting to it, man, it just getting the answers. It's all changing now. Prescriptions are changing. So you need to know, get a hold of a person like Jerry, and he'll help navigate you through, educate you, help you through this. So lifestyle business is having fun, joy with your business. So you'll work till you're 100, because a lot of people retire like, I'm tired of this. And then they actually die 2 years later. Actually die because they lose their purpose. If you lose your purpose, your health will go down. You always want to work. You always want to have purpose, but have a lifestyle purpose. Travel, still work. You can work as little or as much as you want to mix your business in with your revenue generating business. Have a lifestyle with it. And the last one, how does love fit into our ecosystem? Well, you'll probably be seeing more of this, because if your business isn't built on love for your customers, for your team, we call them ambassadors that share the word, share the excitement of the business. If you don't have that love in your business, you're not going to build a business, because people can see it. They know when they're just trying to take advantage of you. You have to love what you do. You have to love your customers. You have to know about your customers. You have to love your team. So the community is love. Love, it sounds a little foofy, but hey, just bear with me. Have fun and love on your team. Love on your clients, customers. When you do that, your business grows. So I wanted to give you enough information. I hope you listen to this a couple times. I hope eventually this will go out to people that aren't in the magazine. I'm going to give you first, because you're in the magazine. Then, if 15 of you want to do it, well, that's great. I'm going to find 5 others, because I've done 300. And I have a lot of people that did make it in the magazine. I put 300 stories in the magazine, it would be like an encyclopedia. Couldn't do that. But I had to get something physical for you to see. And I'm going to try, okay. Yeah, you can go, we do a webinar on Wednesday. So that's a way to check us out. We have free tips for you, where we give you PDFs which you can download and be able to get access to. And our next live event, let me see. Nope, that one just passed. It's going to be, let me see if I can change it. It's going to be the 18th of July. So I didn't change this on it, but I'm going to show you on the fly how we can let you know why this is important, because there we go. Okay. All right, let me see. Bingo. There we go. Okay, it's going to be at Grace Church. That's the church I go to. And if you go to petecain.me/live, our next one is going to be January 18th. We do it at 10 a.m. in the morning, and we have our speakers talk, educate, connect. So you can come to it long as you've done a podcast. You have to have done a podcast. You can come as a guest, but I'm talking about being a speaker. We want to elevate our community to be good speakers, good communicators, because lots of people are looking for speakers. And if you can be a good person to deliver value, people are going to want you to come into their group to share your expertise. So that's what that is. So go to petekane.me/magazine and go ahead and take that, or go see that. You can order a magazine, get it from Amazon, get it in a few days, and take our masterclass. That's our 10 steps, our ecosystem. Check it out. We'll put links in the show notes here so you can get to it. I hope I have an opportunity to work with you. I hope I have an opportunity to help you grow and scale your business, because for those that take advantage of it, you'll be like, I'm the luckiest person on this earth. And we are lucky to be in America, to be at this time. When you look at everything that's at our fingertips, we sometimes take it for granted, but we're lucky. We're very lucky. So I hope that you will join us. And if you miss this opportunity, I hope you never miss it completely, because in the next couple of years, as AI, I know what I needed to say. AI kicks in. Go to petekane.me/AI. If you want to take Jeff's free course on AI, get a good understanding of it. Understand AI. Don't just have this preconceived idea that it's going to be evil, which there's evil in everything. I'm not denying that some people could use it the wrong way, but you can't not embrace something because a few people will misuse it. Get to know it. Go to petekane.me/AI. Take Jeff's free course on AI. Understand it, how you can use it to grow your business. Thank you so much. Thank you for listening. I appreciate you. And certainly share this with people. Whether they'll get in, they have to be in the book first to be able to get into this offer. But eventually we're going to scale it. So eventually more people will be able to get it. But they always have to go through the assessment first. I got to know who you are. I got to know what your goals are. I got to know what you want to do. Because if we put you on a podcast, we don't know anything about you. I'm navigating in the dark. I have to know a little bit about you. By doing that, that's why we do the assessment. So just go to, again, petekane.me, take that assessment, and maybe for you, if you're not in that magazine, we have a chance to do a podcast with you. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Grow, have fun, and enjoy the time we are having in America. We are lucky to be here. Thank you.